I tell you what, man. These toes to bar is probably one of the hardest exercises that I've ever done. So I did 2 sets of 5 tonight, and as you guys will see in a minute, the fifth rep I came to a complete stop. It looks like it was a purposeful pause. Let me tell you guys, it was not. I was fighting with everything I had to finish out that rep. But these are rough, man. So I did the 2 sets of 5, and immediately, after those, I could feel like soreness in my abs, just like a super deep stretch. And like it engages the upper back and everything. Even the triceps. I don't know if any of you have ever tried to do the calisthenics movement called the front lever. But essentially, you grab onto a pull-up bar and you hold yourself, horizontal to the ground. I felt, I've tried that in the past and, got to where I could hold it for a few seconds. And as I was doing these toes to bars tonight, I felt a lot of that same upper back and shoulder girdle strain. Because essentially you're, kind of throwing your body up around too, up to the bar. And a lot of that is obviously the abs and the core. But there's, a lot of, like lat involved in that. Abs are probably going to be sore tomorrow. I will not be surprised if they are. So after that, I basically decided to just make today a fluff day. So I got off work, I shot my bow for a little bit, and then I went for a 2.5 mile run. I pushed the first mile pretty hard, not super hard, it was just kind of a labored pace. And then I cruised on the second mile. I'd planned on just running 2 miles, and then hit the 2 mile mark and decided to, halfway sprint, a half mile. So, 2.5 mile run today. I've thrown up the splits at the very end of the video if you guys are interested in looking at that. So then I came out here and I was like, man, what can I do for a workout today? I just took 315 for a 2x2 on squat yesterday. So there's a little bit of fatigue built up in the legs. I just finished up a run, so I don't want to squat heavy again. The glutes are sore, and, the upper back is kind of sore from the demand at work yesterday, doing 100 muscle-ups and dips into the attic. So I was like, dang, dude, I can't deadlift, or I don't want to deadlift because the glutes are sore. I'm not really in the shape to squat heavy again or put in a big squat workout. Everything's just a little too tight for that. So then I had the option of, let's maybe do some overhead press or a good bench workout. The only thing that stopped me from doing that is I'm going bow hunting tomorrow. And I don't want to come out here and just obliterate my arms and my upper body. And then, have the chance to draw back on a doe tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon and, be too shaky to make a good shot. So I didn't want to risk that. So basically came out here, did some, pullovers with a 10-pound plate. I went through some chest flies here with literally 2.5-pound plates. Just kind of worked overhead, basically stretching the chest, the shoulders, and, kind of extending the upper back, the thoracic spine. And then let's see, what did I do after that? After these, I moved over to, it looks like a glute stretch, and it is, but the way that I do them, it's also a little bit of a workout. So you guys will see here in a minute, but I sit on the bench, one leg off the bench, one leg folded up on the bench in front of me, similar to like a pigeon pose. And then, I'll lean over, essentially stretching the glute, and then I, straighten back up, sit upright. Doesn't look like much, but if, you try to take the lower back out of it and, force yourself to sit up by squeezing the glute, then it can be, a pretty decent glute workout. So here it is now. But you lean forwards. And then, pull yourself, squeeze yourself up with the glute. You kind of helps to think of pushing the bench down, pushing the bench away with your leg. And so you can get a pretty intense contraction on the glute, especially because at the very start of the movement from the bottom position, like here, the glute is in the maximally stretched position. And then, you've got to put down some force through it. And then after that, I've done some Bulgarian split squats, mostly just focusing on stretching the hip flexors. So I did, I think, 2 sets of those per leg. Mainly just opening up the hips. Honestly, that's what a lot of tonight has just been sort of mobility work, fluff work, and stretching out the hip flexors some. Just some basic stuff to keep the body healthy, keep the body mobile. I really like to do exercises like this on a day where nothing else really lines up for a good workout. So I hit a run today. I prefer not to run and then come in the garage and squat heavy, because after a run, the lower back always feels a little bit like unstable once I come in here and try to push either high reps or heavy weight on squat. So if I run beforehand, that automatically crosses out a squat workout. And with all the essentially deadlifting, rolls of wire, and the sore glutes, deadlifting wasn't really on the list either today. My hamstrings are kind of tight as well. So I really didn't want to push that soreness anymore. And then, as you know, the bow hunting situation tomorrow, didn't want to just come out here and destroy upper body and, cause that to mess up a hunt for me tomorrow. So with that being said, if you got a day like this, put in some stretching work, put in some mobility, just some fluff to, keep you healthy. Back up to the hunting section or hunting conversation for a minute. I hunted last Saturday and got rained on the entire time. So a lot of my straps, like my lineman belt, my safety harness strap that goes around the tree, my straps for my deer stand, all of these got rained on, and then I stuffed them back into my bag and threw the bag behind my seat for 2 or 3 days. And so now, all of my hunting straps smelt like mildew. So I had Mom wash those the other day, and now I've got all of my hunting crap separated and put up in different parts of the house. Some of it's in my truck, some of it's on the table. My bag is somewhere in the dining room. So now I've got to go back inside tonight and gather, all of my hunting stuff up, and probably wake up at, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 9 o'clock right now. It'll easily be 10 or 10:30 by the time I go in and get all this together and get a shower and get into bed tonight. So I'm looking at a pretty, busy rest of the night and a busy day tomorrow. So with all that being said, I guess I better get off here and, get around to that. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.